If you're looking for a great way to organize your class and get your students collaborating, then you can start by creating a class notebook. To create a class notebook, you can either go through Office 365 and log in to your work email. Once you log into your work email, this is, your dashboard. If you look to the left, it's all your apps available through Office 365. If you do not see one that says Class Notebook, you can click on this little symbol for all apps. And then when you do that, you will get all the apps. The one you are looking for is Class Notebook. This is how you create class notebooks. Once you've created it, to open the class notebooks, you would go through this one. But since we're creating, you are going to click on it and you're going to get to this main page. You can also, if you're like me and you always have your SharkMail open, you can click on the 9 little dots and you'll have the most popular apps or the most recently used. When you click on the app launcher, here's Class Notebook. If you did not see it, you could also click on all apps and it would take you to the Office 365 landing page. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Class Notebook, and either way it will take me to the same dashboard, which is what I need. This is where you can manage all of your class notebooks. You can create another one, you can add or remove students, or you can add or remove teachers. Go ahead and create a class notebook. The first thing I need to do is title it. What's it going to be called? I can either separate them by periods or by courses that I teach. So let's say I teach a 7th and an 8th grade course, or a 7th grade regular and a 7th grade honors. I can separate it that way and have all my 7th grade regulars in one notebook and all my honors in one notebook. Or if you are very specific, you can have them separated by period, which is what I would prefer to do, just to make it easy when I'm looking and grading and giving feedback. So I'm going to call this Math Period 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Next. When I click Next, it just gives me a little intro description of what everything is for and who can edit what. Here I can add another teacher. So let's say I want to give the SAS teacher or the TLC teacher access to this notebook so they can better help their students. I could do that. You would go ahead and add the teacher's name. And sometimes you'll see 2 emails because they either went to school here or they went to NSU University for their degree. You can hover over it and it will tell you the correct email, which is nice. So the correct email would be the @nova.edu. I don't need to add any teachers, so I will leave that blank and go to the next page. Here is where you can add your students, and make sure that every time you add them, you separate it by a semicolon. I'm going to add 2 example students. If you do not want to do it manually, you can go in my backpack and create a roster report and just set it for Excel, and then you can put the formula to separate all the names with semicolon in Excel that way. And if you're typing a student's first and last name and they do not generate in here at all and it says no results, this is very rare, but you can get the student's email and input their name that way with their email. When I am done setting up my students, I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Here I can review the sections that are going to be in each of the students' private space. If I'm happy with them, I can leave them, or I can add another one. You can always go back and add this later. So I'm going to click Next. Before I create the notebook, I can take a look at the previews. So the teacher preview will have all of the students' names here. And the student preview, they will only be able to see their own name and their own section. They won't be able to see anyone else's name. So I'm going to click Create. It should only take about 30 seconds to a minute to create the notebook, and I can either choose to open it up in the desktop app or open it in OneNote online app. I can always open it up from my email as well by clicking on the 9 dots app launcher, and I can click on OneNote this time. So since I've already created it, I don't need to click here. I will click on OneNote, and it will take me to my OneNote dashboard of all the recent things I've opened, and my class notebook will be under my notebooks. So here's the math period one that I just made, and I can click into it to open it up. I can also open it up by just going to Office 365 as well.